Hey AfterBuzzers, we are talking Girls Season 6, Episode 4, Painful Evacuation. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
The song was very fitting for the episode, I will say.
Episode was a real one.
That was an emotional episode, you guys. Oh, wow.
I feel like each episode I go through this emotional roller coaster.
I feel the same way, especially this one. I don't know, but we'll get into it. Before we get started, let's all introduce ourselves. I am Renee Ariel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel. And shout out to Tease and Thank You for this awesome sweatshirt that says Cheat Weekend, but like, let's be real, every day is cheat day. And I have a full panel of amazing ladies, so where can everyone find you guys?
Hey guys, I'm Kia Richardson, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
Hey guys, my name is TK Trinidad. I will be manning the live chat. You can check that out. And then also to all the people who did the comments last week, I don't know if you saw it, crazy. So shout out to Jay Brook, Maxine Ward, Lilo Dallas, Summer Cree, Fusion Love Stories, and Marina Xavier. So thank you guys for all your comments. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad.
Hi, my name is Mina Wahab. You can follow me on Mina Makes Magic on Instagram and Twitter.
Awesome. Okay, so much to talk about. We're going to break it down by character, I think. We'll start with Marnie.
Gosh.
Marnie. Still with Ray, pretending like nothing's up.
Pretending is the key word.
Faking it.
Oh my gosh,
Faking
that
it.
scene with them, and she, that was, what did you guys think of that?
They both were zoned out.
Right.
She was faking it, but Ray was someplace else. So when the scene started, at first I felt bad. I'm like, damn, she's like seriously faking it. And poor Ray. But then as the scene's going, I'm like, well, Ray's actually not
Paying
into
attention.
it himself. He's someplace
Yeah.
else. I'm like, of course, Marnie's all about herself and faking it till she makes it.
I can't.
What'd you think?
I'm over it.
No thoughts? Not about it?
I'm just like, okay.
The whole lion's mouth comment? What the hell?
That was the weird, that's so Marnie to be like,
strange.
I would kill for someone to say that to me. Of course she would
course.
only say it to Ray because
she wants someone to say it to her.
Not because Ray would like that, because
Exactly.
she would like that.
Yeah.
It's all about Marnie. It's the
Oh
Marnie
my gosh.
show.
And that this episode really showed that, like, even with Desi, in the
Yes.
scene with Desi and they just have that meeting. I
counselor.
guess it was like the counselor, but it was his
Mediator.
counselor. Yeah, it wasn't really for them. I guess it was he had to be there for them to talk about their work because she just wants him to get back to work.
Right.
Like, we need to get back on the road. Meanwhile, he's battling an addiction. I thought this scene was hysterical when he drank the water. That was great. And then Marnie's comment about like getting bruises for her massage.
All
trying to
about
get over.
Marnie.
2 hours.
All about Marnie. This guy, he's pouring his heart out. The therapist is like, please listen to Desi. He's suffering from like an addiction. She's like, I have bruises. Girl, all about Marnie. Like, it's not about you. And even the therapist was like, it's not about you. It's
Right.
about Desi. We're supposed to be here to help him. He takes 20 OCs a day. Like, he's on drugs. And
Yeah.
she's just like, can you please hurry up and drink that water?
I wonder if it's as a season, before the season ends, something's going to happen to her that makes her wake up.
Right.
Because in situations, because I know myself included at one point, it was all about me until a situation happened, and I realized, oh, okay, I get
Right.
it. And now I'm very mindful of things. So I'm wondering if that's going to be written into this season, as far as like something devastating happens and she realizes that
It's not all about-
right.
yeah.
Or she's just going to be the one lucky one, just
Gets to live in.
gets to live in her own world.
I do-
Trust me, it's a good world. So.
I do want to play devil's advocate for just a second. I am on your guys' side. But in all fairness, a lot of times people in relationships will have zero clue that their partner has a drug addiction. So is the fact that Marnie doesn't know, like never knew about the drug addiction, an effect of her own narcissism and being in her own world? Or is it the fact that Desi hid it so well that anyone Desi was in a relationship with would have zero clue?
I don't think that her not knowing about his addiction plays to her narcissism. I think that the how she's acting now plays to it. How she's like saying, like, I'm getting bruises from my massages, dealing with this.
Right.
How she's pushing him to get back on the road because of her. Like, it's all about her now. But in the relationship, I don't blame her at all. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes people are really good at hiding that, and I don't think that has anything to do with her narcissism, though. She's definitely all about Marnie.
On the flip side, though, because of her narcissism, like, say for instance, like you take take the drugs out and say it's somebody who's cheating, right? If the person knows that you pay attention to all the little things and they really don't want to destroy the relationship, then they're gonna make sure to cover their tracks.
Right.
Because Desi knows that she's a narcissist, he might not even covered his tracks, but because she's a narcissist, she wouldn't have seen it anyway.
That's a
Right,
good
I
point.
like that idea.
Either way, she would have never known anyway. But it's somebody
Because she is in her
right.
world.
If it's somebody
Yeah.
else in the
Yeah.
relationship and they pay attention to all the little details, and you want to make sure that they don't know that you're smoking weed around the corner,
Right.
then you're gonna go through all the little steps to make sure that
To
they
hide
don't
it.
find out.
Right.
Even in therapy, Desi tells her, he's like, when we were together, I seen you. You didn't even notice me, but I seen you.
Right.
When your friends were saying you were so narcissistic, and you were, I still seen you, and I loved everything about you. And I love that
That
he
was
said
so
that.
sweet.
Right.
That
I
was
love
But
that.
she didn't get with him in the beginning for him anyway.
True.
She got with him because, you know, obviously he built her up because, you know, everybody didn't believe when somebody asked, I can't remember who it was, maybe you can tell me. Somebody asked in one of the episodes, like, what do you want to do? And she's like, well, I want to sing, and nobody believed her but him. You know, she didn't see.
Ray asked her, yeah.
She didn't see anything other than, you know, what he can give her.
Yeah.
So, you know, she never really loved him for him. She probably doesn't even know who he is anyway.
Yeah.
It's all about Marnie. It's the Marnie show.
The attraction was there from the beginning, though, but she would have gone for anyone who gave her any
Oh,
yeah.
bit of
Pretty
much.
attention, like a
Yeah.
morsel of attention.
I know. Does Marnie know unconditional love?
I don't think so.
You don't think
Even
so?
her relationship with her
I
mom, like when
mean-
her mom pops in, sometimes their relationship's a little
Yeah.
weird.
Well, it's obvious that her parents had a dysfunctional relationship because she even mentioned in one of the earlier seasons that her parents like were torn apart because of money issues and not managing finances. So it seems like there wasn't a good
Yeah, but whose
example.
family doesn't have dysfunctional?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
she's
true.
she's a grown woman.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people who have different upbringings and not everything is smooth sailing and they still don't end up like that.
No, I
So-
totally agree.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everybody has
Their
a
own
version
struggle.
of
Yeah.
dysfunction. So it's just kind of like, yeah, like it's. So for people who say, you know, they're products of divorce or whatever, you can't go back and blame that situation to who you are now.
Right.
You know, some people take that and they make themselves a better person, or some people take that and they use it. It's like, oh, well, this happened to me as a kid. I'm like, all
But
right.
what are you doing about it
what are you
today
doing
as an
Yeah,
adult?
yeah. Definitely.
And
There's
Marnie,
two
like,
ways you could go.
the fact that she wants to keep all her options open shows how insecure she is. I don't
nuts.
think it's about her not wanting to hurt Ray's feelings. I literally think it's like she doesn't know what she wants, so she's like, I just want to keep everything open
Right.
possible.
I agree.
And it's like, come on, that is so unfair what you're doing to Ray.
Even the part where she's talking to Ray about taking the Uber uptown,
Right.
and she's like, I felt so bad for Ray because even though he was zoned out, she's like, so if I take this Uber and then I,
Yeah.
girl,
I thought that was just a way for her to change the subject,
Yeah,
though.
I think she's trying to not let Ray find out. However, I think
Yeah.
of that lying comment is when she said it, Ray had jumped aboard
Yeah.
on that comment. Then she might have dumped Desi and leaned more towards Ray. But
Yeah.
because he didn't kind of jump on that, she's still kind of sitting on the fence on who she's gonna go to.
Oh yeah, because Ray's over it because the fact that he's like, can't we do dinner sometime?
Yeah.
Can't we
Yeah.
do something?
And they're
she's
in a
like,
relationship.
I know he's like I feel like lost hope. He's like trying
so bad.
every time because he knows something's off.
Yeah.
He can feel, and you can feel it.
yeah.
This is a couple that just does not make sense to me. It's so one-sided, and I feel like Ray can provide a lot for Marnie. Marnie can't provide anything to Ray right now.
I think Marnie wants to be with, like you said, whoever gives her the attention, and she knows that Desi is suffering and he's in like therapy and he's going through an addiction. She knows that she can kind of get more attention from Desi, I think, because
Right.
he's vulnerable right now.
But it also plays to what Hermy said to Ray, that he's in a state of not procrastination. What is it? I forgot where he was
a
commenting.
waste of potential,
A waste
not
of potential.
space.
Right. It's just kind of like he's in this situation. It's clearly not working. He's not confronting her about it, and he's just wasting time.
yeah.
And it's just like he has all these. He owns a restaurant. He doesn't have an apartment to live in. You know, it's all these situations that he's getting to that point, and he gets close to the finish line or to excel at something, and he can't pull the trigger. The only time he was able to is when Shoshana helped him become, what was the
The man
counselor,
he-
the
The
counselor, the
Yeah.
councilman.
Yeah.
And he's not even, he could do so many other things with that and use it to springboard to other things, and he's just
He has all the
Oh,
talent in
Ray.
the world.
does.
I think maybe it's who he surrounds himself with also because
Totally.
It's a big part.
he set the
Totally.
bar so low. Like out of everyone, I feel like he has the most potential out of a lot of them.
He can coast pretty
I
much.
mean, think about it. He was talking to Marnie. They were in two different places while they were talking. And then he spends like how long with Shoshana? And she immediately goes and gets him to talk to Hermy. Like she immediately, it speaks to him. It actually gets through to him. He's present in the moment, and then he's growing. Like with Shoshana, he's been growing, and he's the best Ray.
Yeah,
when he's with Shoshana.
I know, that's why I think that they're the best couple.
Shoshana actually listens to him. You know, they actually have a decent conversation.
And the
They can
Shoshana,
actually-
and the Shoshana now is so much better than the Shoshana at the beginning of Girls.
Yeah, she's like a grown up. I like seeing her like that.
Yeah.
She definitely is. What did you guys make of that comment? There was that weird, like, she was like about killing himself, and then took it back, and she just, that got real fast. What did you guys?
I think she thinks that conversation, because Ray has that personality that's like almost like he feels sorry for himself, and it's just kind of like Shoshana's like, oh wait a minute, like I think she's aware that she can push him either way. So the last thing she wants to do, which is also a narcissistic thing, not as much as Marnie, is have that conversation, and he goes off and jumps somewhere, and now she has to deal with that. So I think she was just kind of checking in.
Yeah. And actually shows that someone's actually paying attention to him. Yeah. Whereas like Marnie was someplace else. So I think that kind of woke him up a little bit. Like, are you gonna go kill yourself? And he's like, wait, what?
Right.
So it showed that like, I'm here, chill out, don't do anything crazy. I'm listening to you. I'm paying attention. I'm starting to like them together.
I like Shoshana because she takes the situation. It's like a little computer. I like how she takes a situation.
So analytical.
She kind of processes it, and then she spits out an answer. Like I love people like that are very direct and don't really care about the rules of political correctness and all that sort of stuff. So I love the way how she operates. Just don't have time for all that.
She just gets straight to it.
And I feel like she overthinks things so much that she thinks of every single possibility that could happen in a given situation. So she's like, okay, if I say this, then Ray can A, kill himself, B, do this, C, do this, and she thinks of everything and she just lays it out there. That's why she kind of says, are you going to kill yourself? I think she just wants to just mention it to make sure whether or not he does, but I don't think she really thinks he's going to do that.
Yeah, I love Shoshana, and I love seeing Ray with Shoshana. But right after their conversation, something very, very sad happened that I think we were all kind of expecting when Hermy wasn't answering the door. So basically, early in the episode, Hermy was talking to Ray, telling him this long story. Ray was somewhere else, probably thinking about Marnie, probably thinking about what's wrong with their relationship, thinking about everything. So he ignores someone that is giving him their time.
Right.
Whereas Marnie really isn't. She is, but she isn't. She's not there. This is someone that is caring about Ray, is wanting to communicate. And then Ray realizes this when he's with Shoshana, realizes what Hermy means to him, and goes to find him. Hermy's dead, guys.
What a gentle way of putting that, Renee. That was just so gentle.
Hermy's dead. It was so traumatic because the beginning of the day, he's zoned out. He goes to work. He's still not paying attention to his customer, Bobby, the older gentleman. And then Bobby walks out and he dies in the middle of the street. Hermy gives him a lecture just basically saying, like, I see the good in you. I want you to do better. Ray is still like, no, all about him. And he's a little zoned out. He goes, see Hermy, Hermy's dead. So I'm just like, I feel so bad because at the beginning of the day, it's like Marnie zoned him out.
Right.
Bobby's dead, and now Hermy's dead. Like,
yeah, but that might be the catalyst for him to dump Marnie.
True. Because remember you just said, like, maybe
a wake-up call.
Something happens, a wake-up call. Maybe this would be the wake-up call for him to get it together.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, because he knows something's off in the relationship. He knows this isn't right, and sometimes... Well, I hope not, like a very rare thing for someone to die for you to realize, oh my gosh, what am I doing? There are so many things, and especially after the speech that Hermy gave him, he needs to live his life to his full potential, and hopefully this will wake him up, get him to break up with Marnie, get his own place.
Hello.
You know, maybe, because you can.
Or a roommate, or,
a roommate
figure it out.
that's not Jessa and Adam. Speaking of Jessa and Adam, you guys. I cannot with them. We see Adam acting and with no emotion quits a movie. Like, suck it up, Adam. It's this is your job.
That movie was so terrible.
Yeah, but
you're an actor.
But like everyone, okay, like raise your hand if you've never hated your job before. Raise your hand. Oh wait, everyone's sometimes been unhappy. Sometimes you're gonna do a bad movie. You suck. You go through it. You get through it. But Adam's a quitter.
Of course.
Quits a lot of things. Quits the movie. And then Jessa inspires him to do their own movie. What are your thoughts?
I feel like every time the scene comes to them, we just don't see it, but I feel like they do like 5 lines of cocaine, and then it's like back into their apartment, and then they have the weirdest conversations. I'm like, did they just do like speed or coke?
I got that feeling
so
too.
high. I got that too. When Jessa started talking, she was like,
Moving and touching
what?
herself, and I'm like, did they just do cocaine and we just don't see it, and you just come into the house?
Or maybe
and
it's like weed infused. But also just shout out real quick to Ryan on the live chat, and also Kirsten Roberts. Ryan has said we all look beautiful tonight, so just passing
thank
on
you
the
so
compliments.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's so
hashtag
sweet.
hey bae. Sorry. Just gonna hit on everybody
Hashtag hey babe.
in the live
There's
chat.
Oh, man,
Thanks,
she just
Ryan.
pass this over to you. My number is.
Hey, no.
But no, I completely agree with you. They seem like they're on something. They're the weirdest couple. I guess they're very compatible because even when Adam's like very upset, Jessa gets him back to like an okay place.
Right.
Which is hard. I feel like if it was Hannah and him communicating, Hannah would then take it personally, get mad, they would be in a fight, everything would be worse.
But Jessa's nurturing is so bizarre and
Oh,
weird
yeah.
to me because the first thing she says when he goes, I lost my job or I quit my job, she's like, did you at least get to keep the jacket or
Oh, no,
whatever,
the jeans.
or the jeans
Yeah.
or whatever it was? I'm like, really? Why are you so sarcastic? And whatever it is, it works for Adam because it complements his attitude so well. But for whatever reason, I feel like Hannah's so much more nurturing than Jessa.
She's about dramatic.
Hannah's a
She's
bit
dramatic.
selfish and dramatic. Like
Yeah.
I feel like she
But
would
she's
immediately turn it back to her. If she'd be
Old
like, "What?"
Hannah, yes. I don't think new Hannah would do that.
Pregnant Hannah? We'll get to that, but maybe.
She would be the craziest pregnant lady. Just putting it out there. I feel like she'd be like, "Go get me a Caesar salad. I have my cravings right now."
I kind of think too in a situation because if you remember Adam when he's taking care of his sister's baby,
Yes.
he became the adult again.
Yes.
So I think in a situation like that where he's forced to be the adult, like if they were to have kids or something, that relationship would end quickly.
You think Adam would like back out?
No, I think he would take care of the kid and Jess is
him.
like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Can't
No,
do it.
Adam
Totally.
definitely wants
Yeah.
a kid. That's why. Oh, I have so many predictions
So,
coming
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Jessa's
So
not
many.
responsible, you guys. Jessa doesn't. The reason why Jessa's so chill is because she literally does not take anything seriously.
I mean, remember, she said money literally grows on trees.
Yeah, she's like, money grows on trees. Let's Google this. Oh, I'm a child sociopath. Like, what do you do with your day, Jessa? What do you do?
It
No,
must
but
be
what
nice.
you're saying,
She's in
what
school,
you're
though.
saying is so
she's-
funny
yeah.
because don't you ever like watch something where it's like side effects could include this,
Yes.
this, or that,
You're
and
like,
you're
I
like,
have that.
oh my god, I'm gonna die because I have lupus or whatever it is.
Oh
Like
my god,
you just,
WebMD when you're sick?
yes,
Yes.
it's the
You're
You're
like,
like,
worst.
Google
well,
your symptoms.
I'm dying of like 5 different diseases. That's good to know.
It's the worst. You
Meanwhile,
diagnose
you have a
yourself
flu.
with
That's why you need a
everything.
doctor who's a friend so you can get.
That's smart. You're onto it.
Sounds like a plug.
I have
Doctor
a
that's a friend.
friend.
Oh, like Hannah's doctor friends.
Oh, we'll get to
Yeah.
Mr. Hottie. But so they're now making a movie, I guess, Jessa and Adam.
Which is good. I
This
think
is
it's a
good for
idea.
them.
It's
At the
so
same
messed
time,
up. It's so
weird.
messed
Why?
up.
If Hannah's gonna write an article that
Right.
it was able to for her to get other jobs, why can't they do a movie?
This is
I
so
know, I'm not saying-
different.
I don't think it's-
exploitative.
I don't think it's wrong in the sense of like what they're doing, more so what the intent is, because I think Jessa's going into it thinking this is how I can get over it, this is how I can stop feeling like
Right.
guilty,
Right.
because the way she was going on about it, like, we can get past it too, Hannah wrote an article, we'll make a movie.
We'll be
Right.
free.
It's a little psychotic. Like,
However,
slightly,
the fact that they went to Hannah and they didn't do it behind her back
True.
True.
means that they're actually taking into consideration feelings.
That's
so-
true.
No, it's more like they need her to sign off on it, like a
Again, for the
release
conscience.
thing.
Well, yeah, well, she could sue them if it's. I think they want to almost do like a verbatim how the whole
Yeah.
situation happened. If they change certain things about the characters, like if you read books or movies or something, they say, well, these characters are not based off of real people. If they change something, then Hannah would essentially be in court for a couple of years trying to say, this is me.
Right.
So but instead of doing all that, they figured they can go to Hannah, she can say yes or no, and then they could decide which way to go.
I
Okay,
think they're
good
trying to
point.
get Hannah's approval too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because Jessa still really low key wants to be her friend, and she feels. I think she feels bad of what happened, the relationship. I think they just really want her approval. Like, they want Hannah to be like, guys, it's okay. I'm happy for you two. Which I feel like that will never happen. And I think that's why they went to Hannah's apartment, because they wanted her to hold their hand and be like, yes, guys, let's make this movie. I approve. And
Yeah,
it's like,
I agree.
no.
That's never gonna happen. Imagine if you were like ex was with your best friend and they approach you together as a couple. You know, my heart would sink.
Executive producer
for
on
a
that
hot
movie.
moment, and then I'll be like, so how much are we talking?
Exactly. I go in business mode, and then I'll go cry upstairs. I'm like, I want to be executive
upstairs.
producer. I want all the rights. Not even cry, but
Yeah, it's true. If they've been together for a while, like if this isn't like the initial, by the way, we're together meeting, and they're just like, they've been together for a while, I know what's up, and they're like, we're gonna make a movie. I'm like, okay, well, how much do I make?
It's been a while.
I want all the rights. So I'm casting, I'm doing everything, give me the rights. Yeah. That's what I would do.
It's understandable. I like that. But getting to Hannah, because this episode started off like, oh, she has a UTI, and then it got real serious, guys.
Which part? The one her showing her mama her vajayjay?
That was bleeding?
Is anyone surprised? Was anyone actually surprised?
Her poor mom.
And this is the thing. It's like there's moments where you see Hannah where she's like being an adult, and then there's other moments where it's just like, so you sat in wet underwear for how many days?
For 2 days? Ew.
And now you don't want to go to the emergency because you have a deadline? Like,
girl.
She's irresponsible. I know this.
I like how the show opened up where she's meeting with, shout out to Tracy Ullman.
Yes, I was trying to think of her
Tracy
name.
Ullman, the OG of HBO from the Tracy Ullman show, and I love that. Like, I remember one of your first predictions was that Lena Dunham was starting to bring on different people and different famous people, and I love that every episode it's someone new.
And it's more than one. There's people that I always see them, like I can't place them, but,
but
I know.
You know.
Yeah, so anybody who's watching this on the YouTube and all this other stuff, just let us know whoever you see, because
point it out. But I was like, shout out to Tracy Ullman. I love seeing her back on TV, and I believe that HBO gave her back the Tracy Ullman show. So I like that she was the writer another writer that Hannah goes to see, a woman writer this time.
Yeah, her character was great. I love that she made it very clear about like writers. The theme was female writers don't have children.
Right.
And I thought she was such a fun, like, crazy character. I thought she was so interesting. It was great seeing her and Hannah interacting. Hannah just, like, kind of taking notes, like, this one was a little crazy. We're going to go with it.
But it's funny because at the top, she's like, female writers don't have children. And then at the end, Hannah finds out that she's pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
So wants to be a writer, and she's a female.
It speaks to just, female empowerment in general. You have all these women in the world that are either single moms, or they're doing it by themselves, or they're doing it with help, and they're career women. Or you have women who are on the total opposite, and being a stay-at-home mom is a job in itself, running the house and all this other stuff. So either way, having children in general is a lot of work. I met a lady today, I was giving a tour. She has 6 kids, and she's an obstetrician.
What?
I kid you not.
Wow, so she loves bringing babies into the world, obviously.
And one was a set of triplets, there's a twins, and then
What?
And
triplets and twins?
Yes, and she's obstetrician.
I die when I have cramps.
So excited.
Like the most polite on, like, they were just, she handles her business.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Do they all come on the tour?
-2.
-2?
Yeah.
Wow. I was just saying, I die when I have
one
cramps.
Of the triplets.
Imagine having 6 babies.
Yeah.
I'm like, kill me, I'm dying. Blah, PMS, and she has 6
I'm not
babies.
even thinking about the pain. I'm just thinking about what your body's gonna look like. Like, how are we?
I'm thinking about 6 kids in the house. I wouldn't remember their names. Number 1, 5.
Yeah.
3, come downstairs.
Dust, come here. Yeah, that's crazy.
God bless.
But Hannah's, I'm like blown away at this choice for Hannah. And then the doctor flashback. Okay, so you remember the doctor episode. Let's get to that. Hannah goes to the doctor. She has the UTI. She's just trying to get some meds. Her pee there's blood in it. And we run into a very hot doctor that I know because he's been in a ton of other stuff, but I completely forgot he was in the show. What episode was it? Tell me about the episode. You remember?
I think it was season 2. I'm pretty sure it was season 2 or season 1. It was a very early season.
No, it was either season. I think you're right. Season 2.
I think it was season 2. But the doctor walked into Ray's coffee shop, and he was upset because people were throwing things in his garbage, and he knew that it was from the coffee shop. Yeah. So he was really upset, and Hannah randomly runs into him, and she goes to apologize. Not randomly runs into him. She goes to apologize because it was her that was putting stuff in his trash can. Right? So when she goes, they have this instant chemistry, end up hooking up. He like make steak for her and stuff, and they end up spending a couple days together and they hit it off, but it's just like a fling, and she doesn't see him since.
Wow.
The rest of the seasons, we never see him again. For whatever reason, they decide to bring this character in again at one of the most crucial moments. And out of all the people on the show, I feel like she had probably the best chemistry with him, even though there's a really weird age gap.
And didn't he have a son or something? That he just recently got divorced and he had a son.
Yeah,
and I think the reason why they brought him in is because in that particular episode that he was in before, he was responsible. He's a very responsible guy. So
Yeah.
hypothetically, if Hannah were to get knocked up, he would be the
guy.
dude that you should get knocked up by.
Yeah.
Because he would like
And he
marry
wasn't
her,
the
and he
guy.
would, you know. So I think it's in a moment like if that situation happened with you, and now you slept with a surfer dude who has a girlfriend
Oh
somewhere,
my God.
and then you have this guy who you randomly slept with too, and you're like, oh crap, should have
He
not worn
would've
the
been
condom with that guy.
My choice.
Yeah.
And he's a doctor.
Yeah.
I know, right? Wrong
And
time.
he's such a good, decent human. Like, for him to say, like, to offer to pay
Yes.
for the abortion and make sure it's with someone, great.
He
And
even gives her a hug.
Yeah.
I thought that was really nice of him.
Yeah, and I think she was just, like, so upset and offended that he would assume she'd get an abortion for
Or
obvious
shocked.
reasons. Like, why would she have the
She-
kid with someone that she knows was a one-night stand that she's not invested in? Some people do, and that's totally fine.
Right.
But I'm just saying, it seems like a logical assumption to be like, oh, she's not going to have the kid.
Right.
So she's like, who says I'm not going to have the kid? She's going to have the kid.
It's a very
Maybe.
awkward moment.
Well, yeah, she has like 3 months to decide or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I almost feel like Hannah's so stubborn that if he was saying, like, you're going to keep the kid, let's go get baby clothes, she'd be like, no, I'm getting an abortion. But
Right.
because he went straight to the
Assumed.
abortion, she was like, why would you think I'm getting an abortion?
I also think she didn't want him to judge because here they are back in this awkward scene, and he's the doctor where she thought she had a UTI. So I think for her, she's like, not getting an abortion,
Right.
So he wouldn't judge. It's weird.
Yeah.
However, this situation, I mean, who knows? Obviously, we'll get to predictions
Right.
eventually. But this situation provides her another backstory for like book 2.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, book 3, because remember the first book she sold, the guy died, and they had the rights to it. So I think she has maybe another year, or it might be up if she remembers
Man.
that far. Like now she can actually get the rights to her book.
Yeah.
And now she has like 2 additional books that she can totally write about. So
Yes,
So she-
Hannah.
Memoirs.
But-
She's so
Yeah.
young and she has memoirs.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's great. Well, she just has so much going on. But with that, I think we should just get into predictions.
Let's do
Predictions?
it.
So let's see.
Your
Let's talk, guys.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, who'd like to start?
Oh, I have so many predictions.
Let's start with you.
So many. Okay, so first of all, I think that so I think Hannah's going to be involved in the film, and she's going to be one of the actresses in it, possibly. And if they ever end up reenacting any scenes, her and Adam, I feel like something will click with Adam where he might start to have feelings resurface, especially if he finds out that she's pregnant, because he does have that fatherly thing where he does want to have a kid. And the only reason I know that is because, taking it back to Mimi Rose, one of his girlfriends, when she got an abortion, he was livid, like so livid, just because she didn't discuss it with him, and you can tell in his eyes that he kind of potentially might have wanted to have a child, right? He likes to take care of people. We already know that. Like, if he doesn't feel like he has a role to play in someone's life, whether that be his sister's life and helping her, or a girlfriend, if he doesn't feel needed, then it kind of affects his feeling of self-worth and what his role is in general. So I definitely think that there is a possibility that Adam and Hannah will get back together if she decides to keep the kid, and if they end up filming the movie together, which I think they will, which is a very bizarre set of circumstances.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't know
like
what's
that.
going to happen to Jessa, but she might be kind of the outcast, because it feels like she's kind of being on her own, and she might need that. She might need a different group of friends and need to find herself. I do like Jessa's character in some ways because she's hilarious and sarcastic, but at the same time, she doesn't realize how detrimental her behavior is to others, or if she does, she doesn't care. I also think that when it comes to Marne and Ray, that is totally not going to last. I think that this whole incident with Ray finding out that Hermy has passed is especially traumatic, and I think this is the great moment where Shoshana is going to step in and be that nurturing figure for him to provide a source of comfort, whereas Marne, as we see in the previews, she kind of seems like, like, she doesn't even care
probably
in the
doesn't even know
previews.
who he is.
She probably doesn't know who he is because she never pays attention to anything. And I don't think she's going to be there for him because she's too self-involved. I also think that at this time her focus might be more, what's his name? How am I forgetting? Desi.
Oh.
Her focus is going to be Desi as opposed to Ray. And I think, yeah, she might not end up with either of them, though I do like Desi for her, but I think she needs to mature before she gets back with Desi, and I think that Desi needs to recover and be completely clean and sober. But I do see her with Desi more than I do with anybody else.
That was a good prediction.
Yeah, details.
I kind of piggybacking, so I definitely see now. Last week I didn't. Now I see definitely Hannah and Adam getting together. I don't think she's gonna act in it, but I think she's gonna take part because she's gonna have a oh crap moment. I need to have money. So not only am I writing whatever, I'm also gonna do like a producer role, and she realizing that now she has a responsibility, she's gonna become more grown up Hannah because with kids, one would hope most of the time, people no longer, it's not about them anymore, it's about their kids. So she's going to become more grown up, and that might be more attractive to Adam even before he finds out that she's pregnant.
And she's going to name her kid Hannah Jr. I don't know.
That might happen. So I think Jessa, in her whole thing through, her producer role, she's not really taking it seriously, and that's going to be not as attractive because it's like we came up with this idea together, and now you're not even taking my craft seriously.
Good point, yeah.
She's bad at commitment, especially to
and
this
she might
type of
walk
thing.
off in the middle of the project.
Yes.
She's like,
I
are
can
you?
see that.
And what did she say in the previews? Oh, I'm a producer. I didn't need to read the script. Like,
So-
what?
Trust
You
that
should know
girl.
the script.
So, and then I think even if that doesn't happen, if Hannah decides to keep the baby and Adam finds out, that's just going to be more attractive to the fact that she decided to do that. And he's definitely, even if they don't hypothetically get together, that will draw them together because he's, like you were saying, he definitely wants to take care of people. Jessa, I think maybe because she invested in Adam, because she doesn't have any friends, and if Adam leaves her to go back to Hannah, that's gonna almost wake her up to actually go and get her degree and become a psychologist and live her life. So we'll see. I mean, that's more of a hope.
Do you think she'd be a good psychologist?
I think so. I think the whole situation with people, like I said before, is that especially with people who they feel the world revolves around them, some people don't realize it. So I think people tell her all the time, but because she doesn't even listen to people, she doesn't realize it. So if she has like Oprah, a aha moment on all accounts for everybody, then you're able to direct yourself into whatever you want to do. So I think for Jessa, she realizes like, oh, this is what I've done and is able to self-analyze. That's how you get to places. Like everybody that I know who are like CEOs and have done stuff in their life, there was always some type of critical moment where they're able to like, okay, this is what happened here, and this is why I haven't gotten to this position, and this is what I'm going to do to get to this position. People who don't excel in life, they're always looking to blame people. Like, oh, this happened to me there, and my boyfriend did this to me, and I did this, that, and now you're like, I'm sitting on the couch because of all this. No, you're sitting on the couch because you don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then Marnie's gonna break up with him. I don't think she should be with anybody, but that
makes sense.
Yeah, but I think in her situation, based off of Desi, I think that her and Desi might be together, but they're gonna be miserable. And she's just I can't stand people like that. That's just annoying. And then Shoshana and Ray, that's a possibility, or they just become really great friends. But I think Ray, after he breaks up with Marnie, he's going to start doing great things. You're going to kind of see him excel. And obviously, I think at the end of the series, you're definitely going to see Hannah with a book of some sort. Because isn't that what happened in Sex and the City? I think at the end of Sex and the City, Carrie got all those columns. Actually, no, I think it's in the middle.
She got
a book in the middle.
Yeah, she had. So I think that's what's going to happen at the end. Hannah's definitely going to at least have one book that comes out.
I like that.
Those are great. And piggybacking off from everything that you guys just said, I do believe Hannah is going to write a book. I'm hoping that she writes a book just like the Sex and the City moment. I think she's going to keep... At first, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, I can see an abortion episode happening.
Oh, there's definitely going to be an abortion episode.
I can definitely see this abortion episode because it's Lena Dunham, so I can see it happening. Yeah. But I also see her having her baby because I feel like this might make her grow up a little bit. And I feel like the baby might bring Adam back because, like we saw before with taking care of his sister's baby, he really loved it. And I think even even though Jessa gave him the idea to do his own movie, it is kind of like a grown-up moment for him.
Right.
Because he's doing something on his own, even with the help of Jessa. And I think Hannah is going to help them with the movie. And I think that he is going to be more attracted to her because of the baby.
Right.
And I think he's going to lose his patience with Jessa because she's not taking it serious. Even though she came up with the idea, she's not reading the script. She has no idea what's happening. And Hannah, who's going to come in, I think, as a writer, who's going to help and probably be on set, she's going to be the more serious one. He's going to know that she's pregnant.
Right.
And I think for him, it's going to bring them back together. So I kind of hope that they do come back together.
But on the flip side, as far as the feminist side, she might have the abortion.
Right. That's why when I first was watching this, I'm like, I can actually see her having the abortion.
They're going to have like an abortion episode, and she's going to like almost embrace the idea, and then she's going to realize, oh crap, like I am not responsible enough. And then she might go and have it because, you know, based off of everything that is happening today in the political climate, that's not a good thing to do. Like, it's essentially eventually probably going to become illegal. Based off
I can see that happening. And also, I hope that Jessa and Marne end up alone, not in a mean way.
Right.
Not that I want anything bad to happen to them.
And Jessa's very strong. I do think that she's a strong character.
Right.
Marne, I don't think is a strong character, but with Jessa, she's been through so much. She has so much life experiences. She almost just kind of settles for what's easier and comfortable. Right. And because she has such great chemistry with Adam, it works. But I still don't think he's a good fit for her.
I think Jessa and Marne need to be alone. And I think my predictions, I think that they are going to be alone because I think they both need to grow up in certain different ways. I think Jessa needs to realize it's not all about you and you need to grow up and be on your own. Same thing with Marne. So I think the both of them are going to end up alone. And I can see Ray and Shoshana getting back together. But a quick thing for girls and Gossip Girl fans, I don't know if you guys know this, but Penn Badgley from Gossip Girl married Jessa's sister in real life, Jemima, who plays Jessa. So they just got married over the weekend. So I thought I'd...
Good to know.
And then also shout out to Marne from the movie Get Out.
Ooh.
I
still want to see it.
I love characters that are in other movies or TV shows, and then they go into a movie and you don't think of them as that character. That's a sign of a true actor to me. Like, I didn't think of her as Marne. Like, I thought of her as that white girl who... you have to.
I can't wait to see this
There's
movie.
a really great twist in it that I didn't even predict, and I'm usually good at predicting twists.
Don't tell them about the twist.
I'm not gonna tell about the twist, but there's really great twists, and it's not a scary movie. I don't think I can use that word, but I am definitely a weenie as far as scary movies. I avoid it at all costs. So if you guys haven't seen it and you don't want to see it because it's a scary movie, it's not a scary movie. So good.
Cool. Okay, so I think that Shosh and Ray are going to get together at the very end. I think that Ray is going to be single for a while. I don't know who's going to dump who because really, Ray could dump her, she could dump him. I think they'll both kind of have a moment where they know they need to be alone. I don't think that Desi and Marne are going to get back together, but I do see Marne being a little bit less selfish and help him somewhat with his recovery, which I'm hoping she'll come around and do. I think Lena Dunham could definitely go in the direction of the abortion because I think what would be great is seeing someone that thinks they can do it or like maybe wants to do it initially, maybe is like, yeah, I can do this, and then changes their mind because that's okay. Right. I think that would be a good message to have in girls, or to flip-flop it back and forth and change your mind and then want to keep the baby. I think regardless, it's good to have that as an open conversation for the show. Yeah, like definitely have her decide maybe she wants an abortion, have her decide to keep it. But as long as that option is open, so because that's real. That's real.
Yeah. The breakdown of like kids are a minimum is $10,000 a year.
That's ridiculous.
Minimum.
They're expensive. And then with Jessa, I can totally see her quitting the movie. I don't want Jessa. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think Adam and Adam and Hannah are right for each other. I wouldn't want to see them back together, but I can definitely see that this film that they're creating get some feelings surfaced again. Yeah. Whether that's Jessa feeling guilt of some sort, or Adam maybe feeling guilt of some sort, or feelings again for Hannah. I think this will bring some old feelings back to surface. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think the doctor will ever come back in? No.
I honestly think she threw that in because she could. I think it's fun to have a world where we see some of the same characters, because it's their own universe. It doesn't have to be like new extras, whatever. So I thought that was really great that they did that, and it was fun for who he was for him to come back at that moment.
And have you ever had a moment where you either dated somebody or you went out with somebody, or you just saw somebody and you wish you would have pulled the trigger either to date them or whatever, and you're like, man, this could have happened. This could have happened. I could have been married with 5 kids, sitting in a big ass, this is my life, sitting in a big ass house, and I'm not. So, you know.
On social media looking at your ex like, man, I should have got that
one.
Set
up a thirst trap.
Thirst trap. See? Renee's like, guys, I reposted
Look at that. That was hilarious.
Renee is learning about the nurse.
I am, guys. I got it down. But I think that wraps up episode 4. But before we go, where can everyone find you guys?
You can find me on Mina Makes Magic on Instagram. It's super exciting. I have some celebrity interviews on there and some cool stuff.
And you can find me at TK Trinidad on everything, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And also keep your comments coming. Really, really appreciate it. Everybody has some really great dialogue on there.
You can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom, and on Mondays, I'm on The Breaks.
Hey guys, you can follow me at Renee Ariel on Instagram and on Twitter. And make sure you check out Tees and Thank You on Instagram. They have like really great shirts and sweatshirts. And for all of us here at AfterBuzz, you can follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on iTunes at AfterBuzz TV. So definitely check us out, and we'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.